And welcome back to Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling. This is part 3 of results and reaction of Monday Night Raw from August 5th, 2013 from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay, I forgot to mention in the last segment that Brock Lesnar said an absolutely golden line, which was, "Say something stupid, Paul," when Paul Heyman announced his intention to challenge CM Punk next week on Raw. But like I said before, Lesnar did a really good job on the promo that he did. Now we cut to the next segment, which is Kofi Kingston versus Fandango. And this was a really good match. It was, I think, the third best match on the card, because it was a really good return match. Kofi Kingston appears to be 100%. Fandango has a really good arsenal of offensive maneuvers, and he's got a really good heel act. And I really feel that this match was really solid, like I said, He's sporting new ring gear, Kofi Kingston. He's sporting pants now, which obviously hides the obvious knee brace, which good for him. More superstars should probably start wearing pants more often as ring gear, which was, something that's different. Anyway, Kofi Kingston ends with the Trouble in Paradise on Fandango, which was really solidly executed. And we should see some interesting movement coming from Mr. Kingston going forward in the championship title scene. I'm not sure if he stays a face, or he goes a different direction as a heel, or he goes back into the tag team division. It's great to have a utility player like Kingston around, because you know that you can slot him into any position you need on the card to basically hold down the fort. And next up after the Kofi Kingston win is Stephanie McMahon bursting into Triple H's office while he is on the phone. Stephanie basically is crying and saying that her head has been cut off, which is odd because the head is obviously still there. I guess that's like an oxymoron or something. And then Triple H vows to destroy Vince McMahon once and for all. You see that, children? Those are pigs flying in the sky. A lot of people are actually very happy about Triple H being a face in this feud against Vince McMahon, because we all like the McMahon family power struggle angles that they seem to come through every few years, and this definitely seems to be the last one of those angles. And Vince McMahon has done an absolutely fantastic job thus far, and Triple H is doing really good as well. And we'll see who takes over the WWE. Both of these individuals are quite evil, quite vicious, and there will probably be a lot of chaos, pandemonium, and backstabbing will probably ensue. It's all going to be so fun. I'm going to absolutely love it. And anyway, next up was the Real Americans taking on the Usos. Zeb Coulter proceeds to cut a promo that insults the Cheese and the Green Bay Packers. Oh dear. Yeah, Zeb, it's probably not a good idea to insult the honor of the Cheese. That causes riots, causes people, an angry mob to form with pitchforks and torches, who will proceed to chase you out of town or burn you to death. And now that Zeb has performed this role-ending misdemeanor, the Usos come out with their traditional Samoan dance and proceed to have a really good interference-heavy tag team match with the Real Americans. Most of the match was done by one of the Usos and Antonio Cesaro. The finish was that Jack Swagger hits one of the Usos while the referee is distracted by Zeb Coulter. Cesaro gets him in the Grotch Neutralizer and hits him for the win. It gets some momentum for the Real Americans in the tag team race. It gives the Usos something else to do besides feuding with the Shield. And all in all, it was a really good segment, and Zeb Coulter performed a really great promo. I do wish him and his compatriots well while he's running across the Wisconsin border, away from the cheese-eating lunatics that are trying to burn him to the ground. I wish you luck, man. Then, afterwards, was Dolph Ziggler versus Big E Langston. I told you we would be seeing him later on in the show, and here he is, being accompanied to the ring by AJ Lee. This will be very important later. It was a really solid back-and-forth match between Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston. Big E performed a lot of great power moves. Dolph Ziggler sold really well, as he always does, which leads us to the finish. Caitlyn, still hurt from either the last match or a pre-existing injury, gingerly walks down to the ring and proceeds to try and attack AJ Lee. AJ responds by either trying to strangle her or hug her. I'm not really sure which is which. And they proceed to brawl in the ring, and the referee doesn't even notice at all. Dolph Ziggler gets distracted. He gets hit by the big ending by Big E Langston for the win. This was, once again, a really good matchup and something that I would really recommend most people see. Once again, Big E and AJ are really good as that evil, sort of, semi, a mother and her evil giant nuke baby dynamic. I guess. It reminds me of one of those Fallout Free families, you know, that you see, the nuclear family. Big E is the giant mutated baby, AJ is the tiny petite mother, and they all cause horrible, horrendous evil everywhere that they go. So wonderful for them. So proud. And finally, we have the 6-man main event tag team match. Player, of Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and John Cena taking on the Shield. It was a highly chaotic, highly fast-paced match, with Daniel Bryan getting disqualified by the Shield because the Shield attacked him 2-on-1 and proceeded to triple powerbomb him. Randy Orton also RKO's Daniel Bryan and John Cena and takes out the Shield as well, along with John Cena. Orton then tries to cash in the briefcase on John Cena, only for the Shield to come back in and interrupt the proceedings. I guess it wasn't Randy Orton's evil time yet to cash in the briefcase. Now, my theory is that Mr. McMahon is currently controlling the Shield and is causing them to do his evil bidding, which is to keep Randy Orton from cashing in too soon, to wait in for the inopportune moment for him to cash it in on John Cena, or more particularly Daniel Bryan if he wins the championship. So this should be pretty interesting. This ends the show with the Shield standing tall and Randy Orton looking on, kind of disappointed that he wasn't able to cash in, but not terribly concerned because he still has the contract. All in all, this was a really solid show with a lot of great promos and some really good short wrestling. You had a lot of great performances by Kane, Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Big E Langston, and a lot of other people. I think the theme of this show was the fact of progression. A lot of storylines got progressed on this episode, as well as a lot of people are starting to perfect their characters a lot more. Big E Langston is doing a really good job. and is developing his ring work to the point where he's having really solid 3.5 to 4-star matches with pretty much everybody on the roster. I really like the permanent heel turn by Alberto Del Rio against Ricardo Rodriguez that really draw a lot of boos against him. Although the Bucket should still be representing in that triple threat match at SummerSlam. Also, the theme was inanimate objects getting chances at championships. We saw the debut of the barber chair, which was a really strong debut by this creature. Also, the red briefcase is starting to attract attention and may potentially turn heel on Randy Orton and attempt to win the WWE Championship by itself. And also, Ricardo Rodriguez's bucket was broken as a sign of friendship. Although technically, once again, the bucket was the one that got the finishing move on Alberto Del Rio, not Ricardo. And the bucket should be the one to blame. Still, all in all, it was a really fun, solid show, and I give it an A. And this ends our 3-part Raw results and reaction. This is 14 Fitzpatrick of Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling, and I am signing off. Have a good day.